Good morning, children. So, we saw that we can't imagine our life without the water, isn't it? So, what to do? So, we should use the water very carefully, or we should always save water. So, what are the different ways to save water? Let's see that. So, we must always remember that fresh water is limited. Told you this may come in the fill-ups, okay? We must always remember that fresh water is limited. Limited means it has a fixed amount. It may get over if you overuse it or if you waste it. Okay? So, we must not waste it by leaving our taps on or pipes leaking. So whenever you see your tap is leaking, or if you leave the tap open, then the water will get wasted, and that we can't afford. Okay? So use water wisely. Use water wisely. The most common method of wasting water are, so these are the common method of wasting the water which we should always avoid. And what are they? Leaving the tap on while brushing or shaving or washing the dishes, operating washing machines or dishwashers with half load. So whenever you are operating the washing machine, always try to keep the machine full. Means don't put half load. Half load means clothes, you're putting 2-3 clothes and washing it, so it takes the same amount of water, the time as per the timing. Or if you put it full load, same goes with the dishwasher. Don't put 2-3 dishes and wash it. So try to use it when it is full load. Okay, so that all the water should be used, it shouldn't get wasted. Watering the lawn with sprinkles. When you water the lawn with sprinkles, it takes more water. Using the shower instead of bucket for a bath. It is said that when you use the shower, it takes more water. When you use the bucket, you know that how much water is being used. Yeah. So, not mending leaking taps or water pipelines. So, whenever you have any water leakage, pipeline leakage, do not ignore it, okay? Because you are wasting one of the very, very, very important resources which may get over, okay? So, we cannot afford to lose water, right? Otherwise, we won't be able to survive. So these are the different ways, of wasting the water which can be saved. All right. So let's move ahead. Beside this, we must also be careful not to contaminate the limited fresh water. Okay. We know that we have very limited fresh water. Very limited means very limited. It's not even 1%. Yeah, that we have. So we must make sure that we should not contaminate. Contaminate means pollute. Don't put any dirty things inside so that the whole water gets polluted, becomes dirty. To contaminate water means dirtying or polluting fresh water. Okay? What do you mean by contamination? Dirtying and polluting the fresh water. Okay? So, we contaminate our fresh water supplies. How do you contaminate? By throwing the waste, garbage, litter and litter in it. Okay. Contaminated water is not fit for drinking and it may cause severe waterborne diseases. Okay. We must all help in keeping our fresh water clean by keeping our lakes, river ponds clean. We should use water filters and purifiers. Okay. So do not use contaminated water. So first, we shouldn't be contaminating the water. We shouldn't be throwing any garbage, any litter into the water. Okay, otherwise waterborne disease is going to occur, right? So use always the water purifier, right? Water filter to drink water. Okay, children. The most common methods of contaminating water are throwing our waste in the river, lakes, and ponds, washing clothes in the fresh water bodies, and keeping stored water uncovered. We can prevent water contamination by, how will you prevent? Keeping the areas around freshwater bodies clean, avoiding washing clothes in the freshwater bodies, preventing animals from entering into the freshwater bodies by not throwing waste in the river, lakes, or ponds, keeping stored water covered. So always keep the stored water covered. Don't throw anything into the lakes or ponds. Okay. So these are the different ways of saving the water. Okay. And also not contaminating the water and keeping the water clean. Okay. Now moving to next topic, safe handling of water. It is important to keep the source of water clean, but it is equally important to keep the water that we drink in our homes clean. If for some reason you feel the tap water is not clean, so what should you do? Boil it, right? You need to boil it for drinking. You can see here, children, that water is being boiled here, right, with a long handled vessel. So there is a long handle here in the vessel. Okay. So by boiling you can make the water, you can keep it or make it drinkable. Water should be stored in covered containers. These containers should be made of good materials. They should also be cleaned regularly. You should not dip your hands in the container to take water out. Okay? Always use the tap or a long handled vessel to take the water from the container. Okay, do not dip your hand inside the water. Always use the long handled container to take out the water. Okay, do not drink contaminated water as it can make you sick. So there are two ways of preserving drinking water. So now we know how to keep our water clean. If you feel like tap water is coming very like it's not drinkable, it's little dirty, you can boil it. All right, don't dip your hand inside the water body in the water vessel if it is stored, and always keep the stored water covered, right? So these are the different ways of keeping your water or say handling your water safely, right? Now, how to preserve the drinking water? Preserve means you have to conserve it. You have to store it properly. So how are you going to store it? How are you going to keep it properly? How are you going to preserve it, right? There is two methods. First method is recycling and second method is rainwater harvesting. So what do you mean by recycling? It means treating the used water from our homes and factories and making it available for the further use. Children, whatever wastewater comes out from a house, those water should be treated. You know, whatever it, if it is acidic, that you don't, now these terms are very difficult and to understand for you. If the water is dirty, you have to make it clean, you know, so you can add some chemical and clean it, and then it can be reused. Okay, reused from for other purposes like watering your garden and all. It is not used for drinking, but for the rest of the purpose it can be used. Next is rainwater harvesting. It means collecting rainwater. This is important, children. It means collecting rainwater from the roof of your building and other areas and storing it for the later use, right? So rainwater is usually collected from the roof of the building and stored in underground tank, pits and wells to use for different purposes. So look at this picture, children. You have to draw this rainwater harvesting system. Yeah. So you can see this is your rooftop. So this is the terrace, right? and there rain water gets collected, and those there will be some drainage system, a hole, and from that hole what will happen, the water will come down into the pipes, yeah, gets collected here, and then from this pipe you can see from the roof coming here, from here it's coming here, getting little filtered over there, and then from here the water is coming down and it is getting collected in the storage tank. Yeah, so this is rainwater harvesting system where we are using it for the later use. Okay, and this tank is, when this tank is full, the water goes into the underground tank. You can see here water is going into the underground tank. So there is one underground tank here. So when this fills, it goes here, and when this fills, it goes down. So water is getting collected for the further uses. Okay, so children, you have to draw this rainwater harvesting system where we are harvesting the rainwater. Okay, we are reusing, we are conserving, we are preserving the rainwater for the later use, further uses. Okay, so here we are done with the chapter, children. So these are the values and life skill. So as you have just read, you have only a little fresh water on the earth. Okay, and so everybody is needing it, plants and animals. So it is very important for us to use it very carefully and do not waste it at all. Okay, can you suggest me 2 ways in which water wastage can be stopped? Can you suggest? Please suggest what may be the 2 ways in which wastage of water can be stopped. Okay, then these are the very important terms: evaporate, seep, pasture, scarcity, contaminate and preserve. So what is pasture? What is evaporate? We know what is evaporate. If water evaporates, it changes into gas. Okay, and that is called water vapors. Okay, then seep. Seeping means to flow slowly in small quantities through something or into something. Means if you pour water onto the ground, the water seeps in under this. No, you put water on the soil, water seeps inside. So it is going slowly inside the water. It is called seeping. Okay, sometimes on the terrace the water gets collected, and then you can see from inside under your house that your ceiling is leaking. Seepage, you can see the seepage, little wet damp place. So slowly, little water, it seeps in. Pastures, what are pastures? Pastures is a large piece of land covered with grass. Okay, so we saw, no, where there's a lot of green grass. So the land with lots of green grass where animals feed, they're called pastures. So green pastures. Now scarcity. Scarcity means something that is not enough. Okay, or very difficult to find, or when something is lacking. Okay, when something is less, not enough, it is less, then scarcity. Then contaminate, I told you, contaminate is nothing but the polluting or making something dirty or making something impure. Children, these can come in name the following, so you have to learn it. Okay, right? Preserve, to keep something safe from harm and danger. Okay, tomorrow we are going to do the textbook exercises. So here we are done with the chapter.